Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode 144 of the Seezus Show. We are back, and we got some content, some great content coming your way as well, too. So, hope you guys enjoy episode 143. I know it's been quite some time, but the way the playoffs work is just kind of hard to get everyone together and whatnot as well, too. But we are going to deliver you a great episode, breaking down the semifinals and our predictions for the conference finals and what's to come as well, too. So, I hope you guys enjoyed episode 143. We kind of went into our predictions for round one. For the most part, we were all pretty good with our predictions, and then we talked about some awards and whatnot as well too. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for Terrence Whaley.
What's good, y'all? Welcome. Happy to be back in my own living room with the homies.
And ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for Carl Conyers.
What's good, everybody? Glad to be back too. Unfortunately, after that collapse last night.
How y'all doing, man?
I'm good. I for one was not looking forward to a Denver Nuggets dynasty or even a back-to-back for real.
Yeah.
So I'm happy and got his.
Well, hold on. They can still be like the Spurs. They don't have to win them back to back.
That's
true. We never went back to back.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
Yeah, it don't have to be a string of them, but we gonna see, bro. Because this was another thing I saw too, because one of the capologists always tweets at the end when people's seasons end, and he shows what their cap situation is for the next year, and they're already over. It depends on what happens with KCP's contract, but they're already over the second apron, so they're already in the tax, and I'm not sure what that's gonna look like as far as just how they handle free agency, but it'll be interesting.
I feel like they have to come. But I just feel like there's no way that they come back worse next year. If they keep this same core, I feel like any free agent addition is going to be better than what they have,
Yeah, for sure.
Because it's just mid-level players that they're going to be able to sign at this point.
Yeah, or I
think a Gordon Hayward that we talked when you talked about him off air. Who can they get?
But you think they might move off MPJ's contract because he's making $35 million to go?
They're not. No, he's part of their core.
Okay, all right.
But damn, Aaron Gordon. I like Aaron Gordon too. But I feel like if you had to choose three, it's obviously Jamal Murray, Joker, and
MPJ.
Okay. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
So, but let's get into the topics, man. So we're gonna just rehash some of the semifinals matchups, and then we can go into the predictions. So it looks like it's gonna be a pretty quick podcast. And let's start off firing all cylinders, man. The Denver Nuggets got dethroned by the Minnesota Timberwolves in 7 games. Ant-Man, although he didn't play from a efficient scoring standpoint in Game 7, for the series he averaged 28 points, 6 and 5, shot 50% from the field and 37% from 3. Cat basically played like Cat in the regular season, 19, 9, and 3. Joker played like an MVP, 29, 11, and 8, and 2 steals. And Jamal Murray, though, 18, 8, and 4, 40% from the field, 33% from 3. Very interesting series, fellas, in the sense of the first 4 games, Nuggets have home court advantage. They completely just take L's, and then Minnesota brings it back to the crib. I'm thinking at this point in time, it's going to be a sweep. And the Nuggets just found a way to turn that championship pedigree on and make some good adjustments. And then they obviously win their home games, and then Game 7, where it's just that everything kind of gets thrown out of the window. But what were you guys' thoughts on this series, man?
Disappointed. I am extremely disappointed. I think that the way that they let Game 6 get out of hand was already a bad indicator. But it really, to me, came down to them just playing like shit in the second half.
Yeah.
We talked about this a little bit off air, but it reminded me of the first half of Game 6, where it was okay, your shots aren't falling, so instead of driving it or figuring something else out, you just keep taking these jump shots. You just keep shooting threes and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And it started feeling like they were playing from behind when they were still up. And then when Rudy Gobert hit that fucking fadeaway jumper, I really feel like that was that. I was like, okay, if this is happening, there's just no way.
Yeah.
Especially with, again, the Nuggets just looked like they were playing scared that whole pretty much second half. Yeah. So I definitely got to give it to the Timberwolves. I am devastated that Karl Anthony Towns is in the conference finals. It's actually crazy. It's crazy that Karl Anthony Towns has made more conference finals now than Joel Embiid.
Yeah,
it's a wild stat. But
I think I saw on Twitter yesterday I think he tweeted, but people were poking fun of him. He just said, "Wow." And then someone retweeted and basically said what you just said. He got more conference finals appearances than Joel Embiid.
Yeah, but I just, again, I think Anthony Edwards showed up when it mattered at the end of the game. He did not have a great Game 7, kind of like overall, as we talked about.
Kind of like Kobe a little bit, Game 7 versus Boston, where not efficient, but he played great defense, facilitated at a high level, and made timely shots.
Yeah.
I always say like the reason why I love Game 7s the most is because you two ways. Like, one, obviously everybody's gas tired because you've seen the same team 6 games, so everybody either has to work harder for their buckets because you see it like on the scouting report.
Yeah,
niggas is hammering home the same things and like they know your tendencies, your habits. So that's one thing I'm always looking to see, like what like either superstar players like Anthony or Jokic can do to beat those those tendencies that come from the scouting report. And also, I just mindset wise, and I always like to see like, okay, is this player scared to shoot? Because like there was times like for example, Christian Braun, like bro had an open, like he was like maybe like a 7-footer, like he could have literally took the ball off. I think maybe like been like a pick and roll like 4-on-3 type situation. Goal's right here, bro passed it off, and I was like, nah, bro, like they playing scared to lose, but or what's that term?
They playing
not to lose.
Yeah.
That's what that was the vibe I was getting from their bench players. Anyone really outside of Jokic, and I mean not Jamal. Jamal was shooting that thing, but
Jamal was playing like dicks.
And the second thing was just like y'all said with Ant being inefficient, but he was in attack mode. He looked gassed too. Like in that fourth quarter, I was like, I wanted him to go for like those kill moments. Even though he was getting double teamed, there would be times where like either Cat or Rudy would set up like a screen, like a high ball screen, and he would just kind of walk off the like instead of going like full speed. I'm like, damn, he's tired.
He was picking up Murray full. He was
and the elevation. I completely
understand. When he
understand.
hit that 3 to put them up by 10 in the corner,
from Nas Reed, that was the game one, and like. It's being able to take those shots and live with the results. Like I'm happy to see like how he performed, and he didn't let his first half performance like kill his shit. Like, so I liked it.
Yeah, I like the adjustment. Well, I always said like if Cat dumbass like stays out of foul trouble, that's gonna be a plus for.
They was home cooking too a little bit. They was home cooking some like a little nasty because I felt like it was a few touch fouls or like they would go off like not calling shit. I remember Ant was on a fast break, got raked across the arm, then called it whatever. But then literally next possession called touch foul. Like I felt like it was a little bit of home cooking in that sense.
Yeah,
but I felt like. Even like in the second half, like we all been saying, like the Minnesota Timberwolves were the more composed team, and that was dope to see because you always just want to see like, okay, he could be you could have a superstar or up and coming superstar player, but are they a leader as well, and do they embody like the role or the identity that the team needs them to be in, and you can see that as a 22-year-old, like he does that,
No, I agree. So do we kind of agree or we can disagree where Rondo talked about it, we kind of talked about it, your Lakers won a championship with having like multiple bodies for Joker? You think that's still a blueprint to kind of get the Nuggets out the way?
I mean it can be, but I also do agree with Carl that they kind of beat themselves type shit, you know what I mean? So like there were definitely opportunities for them to put the game away. So I'm not 100% sure if that's the concrete blueprint, but it definitely helps having bodies for sure.
Yeah, I honestly just think like Jokic didn't play that great, honestly, the whole series. He had like those two games, the 3 and 4 that he was playing amazing, but if he plays up to
5
how
was
like
OD too.
5
when he got the MVP trophy.
Yeah, but I just don't think he didn't really take over a lot of these games like you would expect honestly, and I know he's not LeBron, but that's who you think of when you're thinking of like the best player in the league, right?
Yeah.
Even in games that he was gonna lose, it still felt like, okay, I'm being dominant. I'm trying to do this or that. And like it was just too many times in this series where it felt like he just wasn't taking shots or just wasn't doing the right thing or was missing easy shots at the rim. And then he went.
That's the most threes I've seen him take
I
in a
was
series,
I
too.
was gonna say,
Facts,
and he
yeah.
was not shooting. I think they said he was like,
shot like
2 for 20 or something like that.
from,
Yeah,
from three.
it was
Yeah.
really really bad.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I just think I mean it for sure helps. It 100% helps. But if he was playing like how he played all their playoff run last year, or how he played against the Lakers, because I think Anthony Davis is far and away a better defensive player than Karl Anthony Towns.
Hell yeah.
But he just, for whatever reason, just wasn't playing the same way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And also, his starting five and their role players didn't play as well, too. So that's also a little bit tough. And I wanted to ask you, we kind of talked about it through text. One of my biggest concerns was their level of productivity because they lost Jeff Green last year and they lost Bruce Brown. How do you feel about their bench within this series? Because they still could have won this series even with the bench they had. But how do you feel about it? Because I feel like that was a huge thing this time around.
I mean, I definitely think, of course, if they had someone else on the bench, it would have been helpful. But you also look at Minnesota in Game 7. Even Naz Reid only played like 19 minutes or something like that, and like their bench didn't really do a lot either.
Yeah, Mikal Alexander had like 2 points or a donut. Naz had like 9.
Yeah, I think that in the end of the day, Game 7, your starters need to win you the game. Yeah. Like it's of course great and it's good if you have some guys off your bench go off that's gonna help you, but
or if you get a Mike Miller performance,
with the shoe off.
Sorry,
exactly. Like that's always gonna be or Ray Allen.
Yeah,
but your stars are supposed to be the ones who like if you have a 20-point lead, fuck what the bench does, bro. That has to be up to your starters, and like I also say that to say Michael Porter Jr. and Aaron Gordon. Aaron Gordon took like 5 shots the whole game. Michael Porter Jr. took like maybe 7
shots, I think.
Yeah, something like that. Like, y'all have to do something. Y'all can't be, and we were talking about it before, MPJ just looked very scared to shoot when we know you can rise up over any of these niggas on the court.
Anytime.
Every time.
Anytime he get his shot off.
But he was hitting like the side of the backboard, like his. So
you think it was more so mental with him this time around? He also exposed. I mean, we kind of saw last year. He gotta work on his handles too.
That's why they just pass to him. He shoots it.
Yeah. Because it's like if you're gonna give up your depth, then the starters gotta like outside Jamal Murray and Joker, you gotta add to your game every year. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And I mean that is a part of the growing process too of keeping your core intact. Like as they go through those playoff losses that they understand. Man, where you at? Who is this?
Nah, my joint is off. But Warren's texting me about the graphics.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But
it's on Do Not Disturb. I don't know why my shit keep texting.
But like that is a part of the maturation process of building a dynasty. Like people kind of understanding like what they need to bring to their game, what their holes in their game is, and yeah, I mean, I'm excited to see. Well, not excited, but like I'm wondering what they're going to do if they feel like they need to go the depth route or like get better on that side of things. Because
I thought Braun or is it Brown? It's spelled Braun, but it's pronounced Brown.
I think it's
I thought he was going to take a leap.
And I thought so too because I mean he has the athleticism.
He got
He's
everything.
gifted in that sense, and then defensively he's got what he needs, the physical tools. But it just doesn't seem like the confidence is there for the shot that takes the pressure off of Jokic and Jamal when he's in the game.
Yeah.
But I also honestly, if I look at his shot, he doesn't. I don't think he's ever going to turn into a scorer.
Yeah.
Really, I think he's really good at being like.
What's his upside to you, or comparison?
I don't even know who his comp would be. I'm sure there's someone, but like. I just think his
like
probably
Derrick Jones.
No, Derrick Jones is longer and taller, But in a similar mode of like a defensive player who can play make and kind of be out there. Honestly, a way lesser version of a Draymond Green. Like, because Draymond's not really a 3-and-D guy, but he can kind of shoot sometimes, and he can play defense, and he can play make a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of what I feel like. He's just that type of, like, role glue guy.
Mm-hmm.
But they definitely would need, I think, adding somebody, in this game, adding somebody who could get you just, like, probably 9 or 10 consistently would do wonders for them.
Yeah.
Because even you look at Nas Reed, like, he probably only averaged, like, 12, 13 for that series.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But it just adds, it's a boost.
And I mean, that was Bruce Brown.
Mm-hmm.
That 11 or 12 points a game.
Yeah, take the ball handling off of Murray too.
Mm-hmm.
Had that guy. It's a tough one. Jamal Murray, man. Bro's getting locked up.
And
I forgot what platform I was on. They said Anthony Edwards and the Minnesota Timberwolves was turning the water off.
They locked him up, but he also had he still had a lot of open shots.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he still missed a lot of good ass shots.
Yeah. He got to his spots.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But he also, I mean, he started one game 1 of 10, was 4 of 18.
Yeah.
Like,
Because even though he had 30-something last night, the second half it was a no-show.
he had like 10 for the whole second half, and I think a lot of that came in the third.
And honestly, outside of this series, he didn't really play that well against the Lakers like that.
He just hit 2 game winners.
2 game winners. So
Fuck.
that was pretty interesting. But Joker played great. They're just gonna have to retool next year, and I feel like moving forward, they're definitely gonna be, like you kind of said earlier, a Spurs type of team where every year, with the system you have, the coach that you have, the personnel that you have with your star players, you just have to, kind of like the Spurs, plug in people that fit the system, and y'all can compete for a championship as long as they are healthy. So
I think as long as Jokic is like a top 5-ish player, they're going to
which he should be, because his game's not built on athleticism.
They're going to be around the 50-win mark
every
probably
year.
for the next couple years for sure.
Yeah.
What was your reaction, or like initial reaction to Rudy Gobert hitting that like fadeaway?
I think that, like we said, that 3 from Ant to put them up 10 was like this game sealer. But when he made that 3, I was actually making my smoothies for the week. So like I was in the kitchen.
That shit looks good as hell too.
Freeze them, take them out every day. It's a whole other thing.
Okay.
But I said something out loud. I was like, damn.
Yeah.
Like, and it felt like that was the thing.
Backbreaker.
That's literally a backbreaker. When Rudy Gobert does some shit he has no business doing, and also he was hitting free throw. He stepped up. I can say that he definitely stepped up in that game. I still think that nigga sucks, but
and it was so crazy to see. It's like, damn, like hitting the free throws and shit too. Like I had nothing bad to say for real.
That's similar to like how when Draymond be drilling threes, it's like it takes something away from you.
It's demoralizing for sure.
Yeah,
absolutely. So, very interesting series. Moving on from that, OKC Mavs. I think it went the way we expected it to go.
I wanted it to go 7 bad. I just loved watching the series for real.
Yeah, if it would have went 7, that would have been scary.
Shea needs some help.
Shea definitely needs some help. But Luka averaged 25, 11, and 9. Kyrie 16, 6, and 2. Shea, like we said off air, he played like the runner-up MVP. He was 32, 8, 7, 50% from 3. 50% from 3, 55% from the field, and he also averaged 2 blocks and a steal. J-Dub 17, 7, and 6. Chet 16, 6, and 2. But I was most shocked for PJ Washington, man. And like we said off air as well too, like when you talked about how it really just depends on where you get drafted, the system that you're in, player development, X, Y, and Z. So
does
to
your
see
coach
him
fuck with you,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Does your GM fuck with you?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like that shit matters, bro.
Yeah. So to see him on Dallas with a good coach, and playing under Kyrie and Luka with that system, he surprised me. I did not expect him to be this consistent. He definitely was an X factor.
Mastered that corner 3 ball too. Like I'm like, damn, I was not expecting like I didn't know like what he shot percentage wise before he came to Dallas, but I was not expecting him to like hit those timely shots like when they needed them.
I mean, he wasn't. I will say like I'm pretty sure he was shooting like 32% or something like that before he got traded.
Yeah.
But there was no gravity. He was on the Hornets with no LaMelo Ball.
Right. Yeah.
You're right.
And they traded
And
Terry
Terry
Rozier
Rozier
is gone too. So like it just makes sense. I feel like sometimes, it's easy to get caught up in the percentages and not look at the whole situation. And now you get in a situation where I'm getting passes from Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving,
especially
who are
all the attention
drawing,
on them.
double teams and stuff like that. Like, he just got a chance to really to show what he can do. I don't know yet that I would say consistent though, because also like he hit some timely shots in that last game, but he still only had like 9 points or something like that, as opposed to he was dropping 20 or something like that.
He was like the leading scorer in the first like 2 or 3 games. I thought.
Yeah, I mean for the series he averaged 18 and 8.
Yeah, and that'll get it done. Shit.
Yeah, that'll get it done. But like, and another thing that I like about the playoffs in general, and what you kind of just talked about, was you get to see how these players perform first time around in the playoffs, 1 and then 2, like from a personnel standpoint, what they need to add. So definitely like what you just said, they need to add some size.
Who?
OKC.
OKC. Oh.
OKC, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy because you look at last year was basically the same team. Of course, all their guys got older, so they probably got a little better. But the thing that killed them last year was Jalen Williams, the other Jalen Williams, was their starting center. And that nigga's like 6'8" or something like that. And like they had no other depth. And so you see the upgrade, as soon as you get somebody with some length like Chet, it made a huge difference. But they still didn't have, their backup still was just Jalen Williams. So they don't have any other size outside of that. So I think especially when you're playing against a Mavs team that can go Gafford and Lively, and then also if they had ended up playing the Timberwolves, who can go Gobert and Cat and Nas, that just probably would end up being an issue. But honestly,
they was getting out rebounded.
Even with that though, I think that the size that wasn't their biggest issue. It was just not having consistent person next
outside
to
of Shea. Yeah, because I thought it was gonna, and this is his first time in the playoffs, J-Dub, but
I think he'll be better.
Oh yeah. Absolutely, he's gonna take his game to another level. I always say, like, I think his upside, he can be like a Jaylen Brown type of player. So
I don't know if that's a great thing.
For that team and that organization, the small market, I think so. He definitely he gonna have a good left. But as far as like just that two-way player that can be like a number 2 option on a contending team, I think so. And just Chet's rookie year too, so he's only gonna get better. Probably put on some more weight. Do you think Chet should slide to the 4 or stay at the 5?
I mean, unless they get someone else big, he needs to stay at the 5.
Yeah.
They don't have nobody else to put.
So just like a backup 5, you think would be fine with them moving forward, or
like if they could get freaking Andre Drummond
I was just about
something
to ask
like
you,
that.
what if they had like Andre Drummond?
Yeah, even honestly, and next year he'll probably be worse. So this may be not a good idea, but even DeAndre Jordan, I thought should have played more in this Nugget series because you really just need somebody who's a big body who can give you maybe 10 minutes. That's really it, especially when you get into the playoffs.
Yeah.
What were you about to say?
I was gonna say like, I mean it's kind of late now, but the Jalen Williams point about the comp to Jaylen Brown. So you feel like his scoring potential just continue to go up, basically?
Absolutely, absolutely. I think so too.
I mean, he averaged 19 this year, right?
I hope because like y'all said, I agree about the finding like that consistent number 2 for him.
Yeah,
the size as well. There was something else I was gonna say
because that's a bad big 3, like potential wise.
Oh yeah, Chet. I mean that's what OKC always been about, bro. It seems like they got
they draft well.
That shit.
They draft well.
But no, shout out to all the sports betting sites, Bovada, fucking DraftKings, fucking Prize Picks. I feel like Shea is like the easiest guy you could bet on, like the over, bro. Like he just gonna show up, take his shots that he want to take, had that step back pad jumper, bro. Like I like watching him play, and also like being on the same floor with Kyrie, but like seeing him like almost, in my opinion, like being the best player on the floor in the series.
I mean, yeah, he's
like,
definitely was the best player on the floor.
I was shocked to see that. Not shocked, but I was like, it was a wonderful surprise, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, he really got to play a lot of one-on-one basketball as well too, as opposed to Kyrie, who was getting double and triple all throughout the series, and really had to force him into being a playmaker. But I feel like Kyrie still got the shots he wanted. But Shea, I was telling you off air, dog, like he's probably top 5 I've seen working the mid range, bro.
I was just gonna say
It's
all of his
OD.
buckets, he just driving down and shooting mid range buckets and cashing them.
Wow.
All the important shots that he wanted to get were right there too.
Like, and he's 6'6", dog.
Yeah.
And there's just certain players who I put in the category like prime Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, where like when the ball leaves their hands, I expect it to go in.
Yeah.
With him in the mid range, I expect that shit to go in every single time. So, it sucks how it ended. I was talking to you before Carl came here. How do you feel? Do you think he fouled?
He clearly fouled him.
Yeah.
I mean, especially with the way they explain the rules, like if he didn't release the ball, and you follow through and you hit
him.
He hit him. And I just think it was dumb because you already basically did the closeout. Just jump by. You didn't need to jump by and try and swipe at him. Like, because that just sucked that it had to end like that.
Yeah, I agree.
It was a relatively competitive series, though.
Yeah.
I liked it. I enjoyed it.
I mean, it seemed like, they won, so it didn't matter. But like, there were times where Luka like clearly was hobbled.
Oh yeah,
so I would have
honestly.
wished,
it helped them having those 2-3 days off though. I saw what the league was doing. Because for the Knicks joint and this one, they had a lot of time off.
We're
like
gonna talk
2-3
about.
days of rest.
I'm sure we're gonna talk about that one, or after the Celtics Cavs, but that was a demoralizing Game 7 too.
I mean, we could get into it right now. Knicks Pacers. Pacers won on the road in Game 7.
Jesus.
Brunson averaged 29 and 6. Siakam, I think 26 and 3. Tyrese 21, 7 and 4 as well too. This is literally. It felt like I was watching a movie, a war movie, where niggas literally fought till the end. Like, they would just get hurt left and right. I think it's, I don't know what's worse. Playing under Tibbs, knowing that you're going to play a lot of minutes and get hurt, or playing under Doc Rivers, knowing that y'all just going to find a way to fold. Like, which one is worse?
I would say, I mean, you definitely going out like a G playing for Tibbs.
Yeah.
And you going to fight and claw and shit. But I was just, again, I'm a closeted Knicks fan in the sense that like I want to see them be good, not only for the league, but like I just like watching it on TV. Like it looks like theater when I'm watching Madison Square Garden from a audience perspective.
The fan base is great.
Yeah.
They're annoying as fuck too. They remind me of,
and they needed to.
They're equivalent to like the Dallas Cowboys fans, bruh. They're all delusional. Yes.
Okay,
fair. I should have invited you, but me and Peyton went to a couple of games at 33 Taps that we tried to go to that one time. It's a Knicks bar.
Oh, I didn't know
it's
that.
It's a Knicks bar.
Oh,
like
shit.
What? Let's say the tip off is at 5:30. To get a good seat, you got to get there at like 4:45 latest, dog.
Wow,
that's because a lot of people from New York be out here.
Yeah,
so.
They be locked in. We saw Seezus in there a couple times. Remember Seezus Mero? Like, he a Knicks fan. He stay out here as well too. I chatted with him. Like, they take that shit serious. They had their chance. They had everything, bro. It was fire to watch. So that definitely made it more exciting. So I definitely see where you're coming from with that as well too. But damn, Josh Hart, abs messed up.
Out in the first quarter.
When Brunson broke his hand, I was like, oh. There was no way that it wasn't gonna be their year. It just wasn't.
Yeah. And the fans fucked up too, egging on Tyrese. Goddamn, hit 2 or 3 back-to-back big 3-pointers just to stretch the lead out in the first half. I'm like, fuck, man. Yeah, that was it for real.
Seems like he got more healthy. It feel like he because it looked like at first, especially in the first round, you could tell he was kind of hampered by his back injury, and he'd been a little in this series, but like. I love Tyrese, and like he's a natural point guard, like one of the only natural, true point guards. Like watching that nigga play, like everything's intentional with him, and I love that. But the one thing I hate about him is obviously he can work on his defense, which can come. Just gotta be more willing. But since he's a natural playmaker, I want him to always be in that score mindset too. Since like with Luka, like he's a point guard, but he's gonna get buckets. When Tyrese Halliburton's aggressive, it's fun to watch, man.
Yeah, it didn't matter, but there were like a few like dead ass layups if he just decided to lay it up and he passed them off. But I thought he played tremendous for the most part. I think there were some like moments.
He had a 6-point game. That was unacceptable.
Yeah, like. But as far as like how he rose to the occasion, how he was talking shit, like I didn't know that was part of his game. I didn't know like that's the type of like personality he brings to the game. I didn't
He's
know that
he's
before.
what MJ said in the documentary. He definitely talks when
he's
they're
up. Okay.
That's what I was gonna say. Actually, he actually pissed me off this series because when you was dropping 6 points, when y'all was losing these other games, whatever, he wasn't saying shit.
Yeah.
And then as soon as they started getting up, and then he was hitting shots,
And
he
then it
was
was
like
showboat.
so into niggas' faces, and I'm
Yeah.
like, damn, he just looked real bitch made. I'm not even gonna go
No,
lie
and
about it.
that's kind of I wasn't gonna address that, but thank you for bringing that up because it really did seem like you acted a little unfamiliar.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I definitely
Drake
caught
shit,
that.
huh?
I definitely caught that for sure. And also, like, again, seeing the young stars, not even young really, but just like the new generation of stars come into their own, have their own playoff, moments and like win their playoff series. I was really happy to see Jalen Brunson beat the 76ers. Like, I felt like I thought he was the best player in that series, and to be able to like overcome that, get to the next series. I wanted, obviously, for the Knicks to win to get to Boston, but I think the matchup is a lot better on paper.
Yeah, I don't want to see a depleted Knicks team going.
Right. Exactly.
They weren't gonna do anything.
Both they're gonna
They
get
weren't. They
waxed
were gonna
anyway.
get swept. They were gonna get swept for sure.
But that's another thing I want to ask you as well too. Like, how do you gauge this season as far as like reconstructing your roster when Mitchell Robinson was out? They lost that one shooter, Bogdanovich, and then Julius Randle didn't get to play as well too.
Yeah.
So you just make sure they're healthy and just see what happens next year.
Yeah, I would just run it back.
Yeah.
I think that they're at the end of the line with Julius Randle. I think they're gonna try to like do something there.
If you can get something for Julius Randle, then yeah, that's great.
So if you can flip Randle, what type of player would you want back to pair with Jalen Brunson? He was saying Paul George.
Well, that's what the reports have been. Basically. Okay. It's just him and
why
the 76ers.
would Steve Ballmer want to open a new arena with Julius Randle?
Hey, bro, listen. Best game time ever.
Facts.
Best game time ever.
He's the type of owner where like he makes basketball and business decisions.
Yeah.
I cannot see him having Julius Randle on opening night of his roster in the brand new arena.
Yeah.
No, I feel that, but yeah.
I mean, we're not going to see Kawhi anyway.
I don't know, man. I don't know. But no, for me,
I will say I think that would be great. Paul George for them would be great in New York. But I just can't see. It would have to be a 3-team trade or something where Julius Randle end up somewhere else.
I'm curious to see what it looks like when they're fully healthy, because I think they said before Randle got hurt and they got OG and Anunoby, their record was like 11-1 or something like that as well too. So
yeah, man,
a lot of pressure was on Jalen Brunson and the role players had to kind of play out of their mind. So it would have been nice to see Julius Randle as that point forward helping them out.
Yeah,
this would have been a series. I think because of the Pacers defense, this would have actually been a series where he would have thrived in. I think.
What makes you say that?
They don't,
what evidence do you have that Julius Randle can thrive in the playoffs?
Well, just the style that the Pacers play and their defensive personnel.
What evidence do you have that Julius Randle can play well come playoff time?
Hey, man.
Do you want me to read off the stats?
You can go ahead and read it. I get it. But every series poses a new challenge. And I think with this series in particular against the Pacers, he could have definitely been utilized and got his season averages, in my opinion.
Bruh. So his first series in the playoffs.
Who did play?
Let's see, who did they play? They played the Hawks. Mm-hmm. Not a defensive team.
Yeah.
29% from the field through 5 games and 33% from 3.
Oh, what was his average?
18 and 11 on 29%, which is insane. That means he was just jacking shots.
As a number one, right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
The next year, 2023, so that's last year. They also had Brunson then.
Yeah.
10 games.
10 games.
37% from the field.
So he got better.
Nigga!
He got better, though. Keep reading it.
First of all, this nigga is 30. So he's not on no upward trajectory where we could be like, oh, he's going to come back better next year. 37% from the field and 25% from 3.
Got better.
70 from the free throw line. 16 and 8.
Yeah.
So that's actually worse.
Yeah. But I mean, I kind of, agree with what Draymond Green said. I was talking to Terrence too. Like, I'm starting to notice now he has this term called 82 gamers and 16 gamers. So regular season, you do what you can. And when you get to the playoffs, you just fold. I still think he would have played better just against this specific team. But I agree with you. Like he's not a regular playoff. Yeah. He's not a playoff performer like that. So.
I just think it would have given them a different style of play on certain possessions.
A worse one?
I mean, here's the thing. Yes, but you saw what happened. Like you saw what happened when JB went to the bench and Dante DiVincenzo basically had to turn into fucking Italian Michael Jordan.
Josh Hart had the ball in his hands and had to make decisions.
Good.
You know what I'm saying?
Like he literally, I mean, bro, he had to have been in the gym with Steph this summer, bro. But like,
he did play on the team last year, right?
Yeah.
So like. It would have just given them an option, just to dumb down in the post. That's all I'm saying.
Something, something. That series was exciting. Like I said, I was shocked when they won. I wasn't shocked. Well, I was before all the injuries kind of happened within that series. I just assumed the Knicks were going to win in 7, but for the Pacers to kind of respond like that and smack them up like that, give them that first punch and maintain that lead, I was just like, wow.
Yeah, hey. So now we got Battle of the Light Skins. That's what they were saying on the web.
And I think like obviously you got to play who is in front of you, but this is giving me very Trae Young, Atlanta Hawks fraud conference final type of run.
Oh, for Tyrese?
Yeah, because
who did they beat in the first round?
They beat the Bucks without Dame and Giannis, and then this round the banged up Knicks. So
that's just a real quick aside because we were talking about the Bucks. I don't, and I think we might even talk about this on the last podcast, but I don't see how Doc Rivers' job could be in any type of jeopardy when that's literally like if LeBron was out for a whole playoff series and Darvin and they still like had some problems with Darvin. Like, bro, what do you want me to do?
Yeah.
What am I supposed to do? And then you only had Dame for 2 or 3 games. I just feel like I know it's just a whole different topic, and he has a bad track record. But you got to give bro at least one more year.
Oh yeah. I wouldn't fire him. Like you said, like you can't really gauge the season. He didn't have his staff like that. You throw him in coaching, and they've been injured. So
and the market's trash.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's anybody out there really other than like Sam.
They should have just kept their coach that they had, but like you said, it's kind of like a David Blatt situation.
They better hire LeBron Coles.
JJ.
Yeah,
that's so sick.
It is, but
mind the game. This is why we lost, bro.
I don't think that's a good.
It's not. I mean, to hire 2 back-to-back rookie coaches is not a good look.
The thing is, if I'm JJ Redick, I'm sorry we're going off topic. If I'm JJ Redick, I want to go to a young team.
I wouldn't want to deal with the pressure that comes with the.
Fuck no.
Let alone the Lakers, but also having LeBron on my team, and honestly Anthony Davis too. Like,
you know how you be passive aggressive. I'm good off that. So I guess I would go with someone that's proven. Like I think Sam Cassell because he's one of the 3, right?
Yeah,
I'll probably give it to him.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? It's just a double-edged sword playing with and for coaching Bron.
The Lakers also want something sexy all the time. Even the Darvin Ham joint wasn't sexy last year, but I mean it was just like, oh, okay, rookie head coach, like we're just gonna try to go in a different direction.
I didn't even get to ask you because we only did the first round matchups and whatnot. But how do you feel about the firing of Darvin Ham? Because you weren't too high on him like that all season.
I mean, the way he was marketed to the fan base is that he was going to bring like a defensive-minded, defensive identity to the team, and I felt like, I mean, maybe he did those things, but to me, for the majority of the season, the Lakers didn't have that.
Do you think Rob Pelinka is also attributed to that as well too? Because I feel like y'all didn't have defensive type of players.
No, yeah, for sure. I mean, but they don't grow on trees for sure. I mean, the 3-and-D players. I mean, ultimately, you gonna have to pay them niggas, and I mean, I don't think they had much cap space as far as like just trying to fill out the roster.
D'Lo's a cone. Reeves, cone, Jackson Hayes, frail, and a cone.
Yeah,
and then y'all had what's that one guy who was on Dallas before and also Houston, and I think he was on Detroit for a little bit. The stretch 4 or 5, light skinned dude, Christian Wood.
Oh, Christian Wood.
But
he was injured a lot too.
We just know injuries. It's really AD and homie with the headband Vanderbilt. That's really it.
And I mean, Vandy, he didn't play that many games.
And Gabe Vincent, y'all brought him in for that too.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, bro, I think a lot of it came down to respect in the locker room, and I don't think that he had that, which is why I'm like, why are you going to go back and do the shit with JJ, other than the fact that Bron's greenlighting it?
Yeah. I think, though, they honestly, his tenure there have not ever got him, like, a great coach, a coach that you feel like could be there.
LeBron.
Like they had Bill Walton, or not Bill Walton, Luke Walton.
Mm-hmm.
Then they had
They did have Luke Walton his first year. Right?
Yes, they had fucking Luke Walton, who never got a job again after he went to Sacramento. They hired Frank Vogel, and then Darvin Ham, and now he's about to be on his 4th coach already there.
Yeah,
he's probably had the most for his tenure, the most coaches.
Either him or Kevin. I think there was some stat where him and Kevin had like 18 combined.
Yeah,
coaches or shit like that.
But he needs and of course I know he's off the market now, but like a Rick Carlisle, like he's going to be the coach of the Pacers for a while, you know, like, and he was the coach of he was in the Mavs before, right?
The championship
for a while, and then he was in Detroit for a while, you know, like
Rick Carlisle was in Detroit.
Yeah,
when?
I'm pretty sure it was either
before the Mavs.
It was when we won our championship, but I think it